Hello viewers, welcome to this new episode of Religions and Beliefs brought to you by Studio 77. I am your wonderful host, God's Delight. And today we'll be diving into one of the oldest religions of this world, which is Hinduism. Most of us are familiar with Hinduism. Most of us that are Bollywood fans, Indian movie fans, and so on. So what is Hinduism? Hinduism is a religion. It is one of the oldest religions. It was created over 4,000 years ago. And where was it created? It was created in India. It originated from India and Pakistan. It doesn't really have a sole founder. It was just created by ancient beings. People that were way older than us, people that were before Christ. We are going to be looking into their beliefs, their taboos, their gods, their goddesses, what they believe in, their do's and their don'ts. So follow with me on this journey. Moving on to their beliefs, we have karma. Most of us know what karma is. Karma is when you do something, then you get a reaction, whether it is physical, but in this context, it is used spiritually. When you do something and there is a spiritual reaction to it. Many of us are just so familiar with karma. Some people don't believe in karma actually because they think karma is a bitch. But personally, I don't think, because there are so many instances and experiences that most of us have gone through that you know that okay, this thing that you did is brought about this reaction, probably from a person or it can be from any other thing. Another belief that they have is their belief in Samsara, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Rebirth in the sense that okay, you can die, and death is not just the end of everything. Probably you can die, then probably be rebirthed or be reincarnated again as your son's son or your son's daughter, anyone it is. That is what they believe in. They believe that death is not just the end of life. As you live, when you are born, then you grow, then you die, then you are born again. It might not just be in your physical form. You can be born as an animal too. It happens in any way. One of their beliefs is also Dharma, righteous living, fulfilling your purpose life. Everyone has a purpose in this life. One purpose might just be greater than another person's purpose. They also believe in Brahman, which is the ultimate, that's just like the ultimate all-forming power. They are what they believe in, but they don't see. It is invisible. Their form is formless, and they believe it is all-knowing. One of their beliefs is also Atman. This Atman is the soul of the Brahman that I mentioned earlier, the all-formless power, all-knowing power. The Atman is the soul in it. Everything has a soul. We have a soul, you have a soul, I have a soul. So the Atman is the soul of the Brahman. One of the also is Moksha. Moksha is the freedom from the cycle. The cycle which I mentioned earlier is Samsara. Moksha is okay, they believe that you get the freedom from the cycle. Instead of it to be reincarnated again and again and again, there is freedom for it. You are liberated from it. That is their Moksha. So those are their core beliefs. The Hinduism people, those are their core beliefs. Those are what they believe in. So moving on to their deities, their gods, their goddesses. They have you can be an Hinduist, but you can also serve many gods in their religion. It can be polytheist. They have so many gods. We have the Shiva. And who is the Shiva? The Shiva is the destroyer or transformer. She can do and she can undo. She can destroy and she can transform. I've heard the Shiva so many times, especially when I was watching Indian movies where they show the way they celebrate their gods and their goddesses. Another one is Lakshmi. There was even a movie titled Lakshmi. Lakshmi is their goddess of wealth and prosperity. If you want to get wealth, if you want to get prosperity, they pray to Lakshmi to provide for them whatever they need for them to have wealth and prosperity. They also have Brahma, the Brahma that I mentioned earlier. The Brahma is their creator. The all-knowing God, the God that they cannot see. Yes, they cannot see Brahman, which is why they now have lesser gods, which are the Shiva, the Lakshmi, and so on. This Brahma God, today it's not really worshipped again like before, but the other gods and the goddesses are being worshipped today. We have Saraswati is their goddess or god of knowledge and art. When in most scenarios, okay, they might have a child that is not really so bright, or they can just take that child to the temple of this so-called Saraswati. Probably the child should stay in the temple for days just to gain knowledge and art. Or when we will have people like philosophers in those fields, like in that Saraswati field, that they will stay in their temple to learn more and more about this Hinduism of a thing. We also have Vishnu, the protector, preserves them, he preserves them, and they worship him through other gods like Brahman, through avatars, like probably they created them and they worship him through things like. We also have Ganesha. This is their elephant-headed god. It has a head like that of the elephant. This is their god of wisdom. So even though you might be an Hinduist, there are so many gods for you to choose from, for you to serve. And they ask themselves, what are those things that they do, that they believe that, okay, if you do this thing, you are part of them, and if you don't, you have committed a crime against their religion. We have, they don't eat cows, because they believe that cows are like a mother to them. So you cannot eat cow feet. Anything that has to do with a cow must not be eaten. They believe it has a maternal form of them, a maternal form of love. So you eating it means that probably you are disrespecting their mothers in person. That is what they believe. So in Hinduism, we don't eat cows. We don't use their left hand to give to elders or to take something. Even if you want to give, you have to use your right hand, because they believe it is impure and disrespectful, especially when you're in the midst of elders. You cannot use your left hand to give or to take something. Moving on, we have their shoes inside temples. Most of them don't wear shoes. Shoes are not allowed inside temples because they believe that temple is an holy ground. It is a holy land, that shoes must not be worn inside. So their shoes are being kept outside while they go inside the temple to worship. And we also have some temples in Hinduism that women are not allowed to enter at all. And there are also some temples that only women are allowed to enter. Note the difference. There are some temples that women are not allowed to enter, and there are some temples that women are only allowed to enter, which means men cannot enter into such temple. With feet, when you are touching books with your feet, probably the book is on the ground, then your feet touches it, they believe it is disrespectful to their knowledge, especially books that contains their knowledge about the god I mentioned earlier, that is knowledge and art. If there is a book of such god and it touches it with your feet, they believe it is very disrespectful. So those are some of their taboos that cannot be condoned in Hinduism. Moving on, we have their practices. What did they do? What did they do in this religion that we are talking about? Okay, we have the Puja, which is the daily rituals or probably in their home or in temples. But there are some times that it's not all rituals that can be carried out at their home, so they have to go to the temple to carry it out. That ritual is called Puja. It is a ritual being carried out in their temple. We also have mantra chanting. Most religions have that. They have a mantra that they chant. I don't really understand the language, but they say it in their language. They have their mantra chanting, what they chant for them to know that, oh, you are part of us, you are not part of us. They also practice yoga. I mean, most of us see yoga as a form of relaxation, exercise, but they feel like yoga is a form of cultivation for you into the spiritual realm. It gives you this spiritual realization, it stretches your nerves, it makes you cultivate more into their spiritual realm. That is what they believe yoga is in Hinduism. They also believe in meditation. Meditation happens in so many ways. You can just sit down. You might not be saying anything. Your brain might be blank. That is meditation for some people, and meditation is probably you reading and understanding. Meditation here is you reading something or understanding something for clarity, studying more about it. Those are one of their practices in Hinduism. They also have their fasting. Yes, they fast too, especially on holy days like probably when they want to carry out their puja, probably they are allowed to fast. Yes, they will fast on holy days. Yes, they go on journeys, they go on pilgrims to some temples probably that are not in their homeland or in their country. They go to temples like that for pilgrimages, and I'm very sure they might have a name attached to it. Probably like in Christianity, when you go to Jerusalem, when they want to call your name, they will add JP to it, which means Jerusalem pilgrim. So in Hinduism too, I hope they have names too that they add to their names, probably like VP if it is Vanessa they are going to, or one of their temples. We have also their scriptures. They don't have a single collected this thing that they read that we have in Christianity, like Bible. They don't have a single form of scripture. They have writings, ancient texts in different texts, in different books. Vedas, which is the earliest sacred text, and these are the form of their sacred text that has been ancient before probably they started writing more, or people started like joining the religion more. I have the Upanishads, their mystical and philosophical teachings. I feel like this should be concerned with their goddess of knowledge, clarity. I said earlier that some people might want to study more into that cause of their god. So they have scriptures about philosophical teachings of this religion that we are talking about. Also have their Bhagavad Gita. Yes, a guide to duty, devotion, probably like a perspective. Yeah, okay, probably before you join the religion, you have to read this. This is what we do here. This is our duty. This is our devotion. This is how your spirituality must be. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is about. They also have the Ramayana. This is one of the story of their god, story of Rama and probably his wife, the Ramayana. That is another scripture containing the love story of their Rama and his wife. Mahabharata, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it is also a write-up about one of their gods or one of their goddesses or one of the things they believe in. So these are their scriptures. These are just what they believe in. These are what they read to understand their religion. They also have their sacred symbols. They have things that they hold on to that they see as sacred. The O is spelled O-M. This is the sound of the creation, the sound of the universe, the sound of the earth. I mean A-I-R. Yes, the earth. Probably it is that sound they see it as sacred. They also have lotus. Lotus is a leaf. It is a flower. It's beauty rising from chaos. Yes, they see lotus as a beauty rising from chaos. Probably they are in chaos. Probably there is a war that they have to fight, and they see this lotus. They might believe that okay, it was sent by one of their gods as beauty rising in chaos. The swastika, it is believed to be a symbol of good fortune. When you have this, you are believed to be prosperous. You are believed to be rich, to be wealthy. This is like a third eye. There is one on the forehead. It might not be an eye in particular, but it is one on their forehead. It is also one of their sacred things. They have festivals too. They have festivals that they partake in, that they do, that okay, people around know that this is the Hindus are here again for their festival. The Holi is the festival of color, where they will paint their faces, wear different clothes of different colors, and even people that are not Hinduists, I mean people in other religions too, they join them on this festival to celebrate it. It is just a festival of colors. You just have to wear so many different colors on your head, on your body. Or Diwali, this is the festival of light. They believe this is their festival of good over evil. I'm very sure during that festival there are so many lights that you cannot count. The Navaratri, it is a festival of where they worship one of their female goddess for 9 days. They just have to worship it for 9 days. That is another festival on its own. Janmashtami, this is a festival of Krishna. I think Krishna is another one of their days. Festival of Rama, the Rama that I mentioned earlier. This festival of Rama is just a celebration of the birth of Rama, more like we celebration of Jesus Christ in our religion. The Rama festival is just like a celebration of Rama in Hinduism. Those are what we know about Hinduism. And don't forget what I said earlier, how it is one of the oldest religions in this world. It has about 1 billion worshippers. It originated from India and Pakistan. It has they have their do's and their don'ts. You must not eat cows. You must not give or take with your left hand. You must not touch their books of knowledge with your feet. And they also have their gods that they believe in. We have the Shiva, we have the elephant-headed god. They also have their beliefs. They believe in karma, in samsara, the cycle of life. They believe in freedom of liberation, freedom from the cycle of samsara. They have their scriptures that they read, the books that they use to gain more knowledge of Hinduism. So this brings us to the end of today's show, Religions and Beliefs, brought to you by Studio 77. I remain your wonderful host, Scott. Catch you later. Bye.